Hello and welcome to The Hero's Word. I'm Andre, and on this episode I'm going to be talking about Marvel's Civil War II epic comic crossover that just began a couple weeks ago. So, Civil War, one of the best Marvel stories to come out in the past decade or so, has gotten a sequel. And if you were lucky enough to get out on Free Comic Book Day, you've kind of had a little bit of a zero issue to pique your curiosity and give you a look at what is going to go on in this series. So in that first little teaser, we see a fight between the Avengers, consisting of Captain Marvel, Jim Rhodes aka War Machine, and She-Hulk, among several others, fighting the Mad Titan Thanos. Pretty cool fight, which ended in War Machine getting a really big gut punch from Thanos that kind of looked like it burst out of the back of his nice War Machine suit. And of course, it left us on that cliffhanger. So fast forward a couple of weeks later, we get the Civil War Zero comic. And that kind of, focuses on three of the main characters of this series, which is going to be Captain Marvel, She-Hulk, and what I thought was going to be War Machine. So Jim Rhodes is made a pretty good offer by the President of the United States. They want him to step down as a superhero, step up to become Secretary of Defense, and possibly run for president in a couple of years, just in case, Tony Stark kind of gets big-headed and thinks he wants to buy his presidency. So kind of a cool little real-world politicking going on. And it was pretty neat to kind of see where they might have the potential to take this character. Captain Marvel, on the other hand, is having a nice chat with Doc Samson, who is the super powerful superhero shrink, and it was quite a little charming encounter. So that Zero issue was definitely very, very good. We also saw She-Hulk taking on her more legal role, trying to get a convicted felon off of charges. And this felon happened to have superpowers, which he hasn't used in a while, and she lost her case and was kind of shaken up from it. So we got to see kind of the human alter egos of all these heroes. So the Civil War idea, I didn't know what it was going to be like after that Zero issue, but as I said, curiosity still piqued. Number 1 comes out, and wow, what a great issue. Art was fantastic. Bendis on the writing chores, excellent as always. So we get to look at what the actual crisis is going to be. So there's a Inhuman, which is a human being who's been transformed by the Terrigen Mist, and this one is a boy named Ulysses who gets the power to see the future. It's like total precognition, okay? And he sees a terrible event. A celestial body is coming and attacking going to attack the Earth, and the Inhumans gather the Avengers, they gather the Marvel's Mystic Defenders, and they stop the threat before it's a threat. Everybody asks that question, hey, how did we pull this off? How did we all get to team up together and stop this before it even happened? And then it's brought to the attention of Tony Stark that, oh hey, this kid Ulysses, he had a vision of this, so we stepped forward and we, nipped it in the bud. Tony Stark flips out. He's like, how do we trust this probability control? How do we trust this Inhuman? What if this guy says something bad about one of us? Do we jail ourselves? Captain Marvel, on the other hand, is like, no, this person's a tool. We got to use this ability. We got to be more proactive. And we kind of see the lines in the sand getting drawn there. This leads to Captain Marvel using one of the leads that Ulysses brings up to basically discover what Thanos is up to, and a fight ensues. They catch the Mad Titan off guard, but Thanos, ever powerful as always, takes down a couple of those Avengers, and one of them was War Machine. Jim Rhodes, that punch we saw in that Zero issue, that free comic book day special, yeah, he got laid out. He dead. And She-Hulk, she hospitalized pretty bad, and in the end, she looked kind of dead too. Tony Stark flips out. He was contacted after the fact. He lost his best friend. And it really seems that he was so shocked that that's what they did. They used this Ulysses information and he didn't think they were prepared for it. So that's the line in the sand. It's, do we trust the future that's being told from somebody who we have and don't know their ulterior motives? So kind of a really big difference in the Civil War we've seen in the past. So far, I'm kind of intrigued. I want to see where this story goes. It is a little bit interesting, but I don't think it is as gut-wrenching as seeing our heroes fighting against each other for a cause as registration. Also, kind of a little bit disappointed in the choice Marvel made on which characters to maybe kill. Now, we know death in comics isn't really a permanent thing. However, back in the first Civil War series, it was Goliath who died, and he's a black superhero. And in this first issue, we see Jim Rhodes, another black superhero, dying. Well, I guess you can consider She-Hulk green. So maybe they are doing equal opportunity killing here, but the first thing I thought of was, wow, there goes another black superhero. And I'm like, is this really what they want to point to in the Civil War? Because again, we got the Civil War, the connotations of that is the American Civil War, so maybe they are trying to strike a nerve. It did with me, definitely, but I'm willing to ride this out because the last Civil War series was so great, and Bendis is on the chores, as I said before, and he hasn't let me down in many, many years. So, what do you think? Did you read the issue of Civil War? Did you look into it as I did and make the connection to the death of Goliath and the death of Jim Rhodes? Did it bother you, or is it just the loss of any hero? I'm Andre, and that's the Hero's Word. If you like our video, please click the like button, and we're showing you a couple other videos for you to check out. If you continue to enjoy our content, please hit subscribe.